So Bonnie's laryngomalacia was so severe that she qualified for surgery, which made me so nervous having her put under at this age. But the surgeon was actual legend, and he rest assured us that it was such a simple procedure and that it would benefit her so much, which it had. Looking back on it now, I'm so glad we got it done. So she had a supraglottomy done. Don't ask me for the physiological stuff about it, but it was literally, they just made 4 incisions down in her throat to open everything up. There's no long-term effects from it, and essentially it just turns her throat into what ours would normally be. So this was us before getting her, when she was just about to get sent off. Oh my God, it broke my absolute heart. I was a mess after it, but I had such a beautiful moment happen there that I'll share eventually on a different video. And then this is her after. We were in ICU for a night and she recovered so well. And then I knew she was probably going to be off for a week or so. And then this is what happened after that surgery. So we just had the speechy appointment for Bonnie, and in this appointment we were going to test her on a bottle for the first time since she's been on the tubes. And it's been 3 weeks post surgery, and the first week and a half after the surgery I was a bit nervous. I was like, oh, she's sounding shit, like super wet, a bit rattly. Like I was like, oh gosh, it's not sounding amazing. And then she turned a corner about a week and a half after the surgery, and ever since then she's been tolerating foods heaps well. So it was a good day to kind of test to see how she'd go with the bottle today. We tested her first with 40 ml, and she did so well. She absolutely smashed the 40 ml and seemed so content. I can't explain to you, like, I was holding her, and I haven't held her for feeds since she was 2 weeks old, because with the syringe I literally need to use 2 hands for that. It's just awkward to hold her at the same time. And she looked me dead in the eye as I was feeding her with the bottle, and she just seemed so content, and she just looked at me like so happy. And it was the best feeling ever, like the best feeling ever. So it makes me even emotional now. I just feel like it's been a lot. Just to see that look on her face was, oh my God, fucking priceless. Then we tried another 40 ml. She tolerated that really well. So she actually had 80 ml from a bottle today, but we don't want to overdo it. So for this week, she's going to be on 40 ml with a bottle, the rest via syringe. And then we'll increase it week by week. I asked the speech, I was like, so how long do you think she's going to be on the tubes for? Thinking that it's still going to be like 3 months. And she was like, she could be off of it in the next 3 to 4 weeks. And I was just like, oh my God, what the fuck? Which lines up also with her oximetry test. So there's a chance she could be off nasal gastric tube and oxygen in the next 3 to 4 weeks. But I don't want to get my hopes up. She also said it could be 2 months. But just to know that she's doing well and she's improved and the surgery has worked, and just to hold her, to feed her and look at her like that, it's the fucking best. So I got in the car and called Alex, and I was telling him about when she looked at me like that, and I just bawled my fucking eyes out. Like, I just cried so much. I think it's just so good to know that she's getting better, and honestly, I'll remember that look that she gave me. I'll remember that forever. She just seemed so happy. So it's really nice to see a light at the end of the tunnel. Yes, your battery went. Oh no, battery on the monster truck went. Better fix that. So I'll keep you guys updated. But we are looking the goods. We have some good news, which we haven't had in a really long time. So good stuff. So I'm whispering because everyone else is in bed, but I thought I'd take you through what it's like at night time with Bon and I. So we've started introducing the bottle a bit during the day, so 40 mils in her feeds, but at night she like usually falls asleep at like 8:30 and she starts going into her full overnight sleep, but I need to get another feed in to keep her weight tracking right. At the moment, she's in the 10th percentile. We need to make sure that she stays in that or jumps up. So I need to feed her, and she's so tired. Look at her. But I will pump and then feed her through the syringe at the same time. And she'll wake up for a little bit. She'll wake up for a nappy change and for the first bit, and then she'll fall asleep pretty quick, which I'm very grateful for that. There are some positives to the tube, I'm not gonna lie. Like today at lunch, like I could just hold the syringe at the side of the table and kind of secretly feed her while I was still eating my lunch, whereas, you know, you didn't have to sit her on me and hold her, even though I like sitting with her and holding her. But and, you know, feeding her while she's asleep like this, not having to fully wake her up. But obviously as we transition more to the bottle, that would change. But hopefully as she gets better with the bottle and as she puts on more weight, hopefully we can just feed her more so on demand. So if she's asleep, just keep her asleep and not have to wake her and feed her. But yes, I'm still pumping. I don't think she's going to get back on the boob. I've just made peace with the fact that I don't think I'm going to be able to breastfeed her again, which doesn't faze me too much. I don't know, before I had Bonnie, I was like, because I've got inverted nipples, so I had to use a nipple shield with Harry, and I exclusively breastfed him for the first 2 months, and then I did a combination of breastfeeding and pumping, and that was really good because it meant that Alex could do some of the feeds. It also meant that I could catch up on some sleep, and it worked really well. And then over time, when I started working more and all of that, I just transitioned to pumping full time, and it was a lot easier. And he was such a guts, like he just wanted so much milk. And it also made me realize that my boobs are completely lopsided. Like I have one boob that produces everything and one boob that produces hardly anything, and I wouldn't have known that if I didn't pump. So I'm used to pumping, but before Bonnie, I was like, I really want to try and see if I can breastfeed without a nipple shield, and because it is so much easier. Like the convenience of just being able to whip them on your boob, no matter where you are, is amazing. But also the cons are they're literally attached to you 24/7. Your partner can't feed them, and all of that. Ideally, I would have liked to do a hybrid of breastfeeding and pumping. But obviously I started, when Bon was born, she had a week of me expressing just to bring my milk in and to make sure she was getting enough. And then she was doing okay that week. She put on weight, and then I knew something wasn't right though. And then she had a week of breastfeeding, and that's when shit started to hit the fan a bit. So then I had to go back on the pump, and then she was back on the tube. So yeah, I've made peace with probably that's not going to happen, which sucks, but we'll just see. Whatever's safest for her at the end of the day, but we make do. So this is how I usually straddle her over the cloud. This thing is the best purchase ever, this cloud. And then pump. Oh good, you can see how bad one side is. Like, what's the point? Sorry, my camera skills are horrendous. But yes, that's us. And I've got a little mini fridge over there that is her milk thickener. So she has to have thickener in her tube just to help it stay down so she doesn't vomit and have the chance of aspirating. Then like her syringes, her little bottles there for the morning ready to go. And then what I pump here, I put into that fridge. And then there's a bottle warmer, that little black thing. So I can just get up in the morning, get everything ready. Yeah, obviously you can see Alex is not in the bed. We have not slept in the same bed since she was born, which is shitty. I miss the shit out of him. But since she's been born, Harry's his 2-year-old molars have been coming through. He's going through a big transition, so his sleep's been a little bit more interrupted as well. So Alex is on Harry duty. I'm on Bond duty. Bond's now sleeping through the night, amazingly. So Alex could come back in, but then while Harry's getting up during the night, there's no point both of us being up. I think that's the biggest tip if you're about to be parents. Don't feel like you need to both get up. It's just silly for both of you to be super tired. And if you've got 2 kids, just take one each, if you can, if one's not working. I realise I'm very privileged in saying that. We're in a very lucky situation that we can both be home. I would actually be fucked right now if Alex wasn't here throughout all of this. Like, if he didn't have time off, if we both couldn't be here, I wouldn't be able to do this. I wouldn't be able to pump. She would probably be on formula. Yeah, it'd be tough. But fortunately, we're very lucky. So yeah, that's my little nighttime routine. Fuck, I sound like a wanker. But there you go. Had another speechy appointment for Bon. We have been testing her last week on the 80 ml on the bottle. So we went from 40 the week before that to then 80 to then yesterday we tried her full feed, which is 120. Do you want this or not? No? And she's tolerated it really well. And today the speechy told us that she can come off the tube tomorrow. So I'm so excited. She's doing big farts. Good girl, get it out. So she'll come off the nasal gastric tube tomorrow. And then we've just got the oxygen one to go. So such good news. So happy, aren't we? Hey? Are you about to take your tube out, darling? Yay, you excited? This is it. Happy cow. Yeah. Oh my god, I feel literally like I could cry. So yesterday Bonnie came off the nasal gastric tube, which was amazing. And look, she seems so much happier after having that off. Then today we went and saw the pediatrician at the hospital, and she can come off her oxygen during the day and she just needs to wear it at night. And she has another test in 3 weeks' time, an oximetry. And if all goes well, hopefully, and she's guessing the pediatrician's like, it sounds like she's all good, that she'll be able to come off the oxygen for good. So it's such an amazing thing. It hasn't really sunk in yet. She's sleeping at the moment with all the tubes off. She's a mess. Look at her. It's just been such a huge last 4 months. I feel like everything has been such a blur, and I feel like I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel a bit. Like, it's just the fact that she can come off all of this is huge, especially when we found out they said she'll probably be on it for a year. The fact that she's 4 months, just about to hit 4 months, she's a week off of it. That surgery was honestly life-changing. The surgery that she had for it, like,
so bad that she was so severe that she needed to have it. But honestly, like, it was good in the end because it's changed everything, and I honestly think it's made her come off of everything a lot quicker. And she just seems so much happier, so much happier. So yeah, I feel like I can start, oh my God, why am I getting so emotional all the time? I feel like everything's kind of started coming good now, but also things are hitting me at different times. The last 4 or 5 months with Bon and losing Ash has been the hardest 4 months, hardest time that I've had to go through. And I'm just so glad that Bonnie's gonna be okay now, and I feel like I've been in fight or flight a lot since that happened. And I feel like I've not felt things from that, or sort of suppressed a lot from that, to just try and make sure Bonnie's okay. And Alex and I have very much just been at home, not doing much to get Bonnie through, and it has definitely felt a bit isolating at times. But you know, this is just such a positive. I'm so happy with this happening, and I just feel like it's just can help me breathe a little bit. Yesterday we had her off the oxygen for a little bit as we were taking her nasal gastric tube out, and like just to see her face without the tapes on it, and she looks so different. She looks so grown. Like, she looks like she'd put on so much more weight, which was a good thing. She got little chubby cheeks like Harry. And just to see her, like, she just looks so cute. And I just walked down the hallway with her, which we haven't been able to do that at all because the oxygen cord wasn't long enough. Things like that, things like having a shower with her or bath, haven't been able to do that. So stuff like that I'm really looking forward to. I just feel like, yeah, so many exciting moments and stuff to have now. And she's honestly the best kid. She's such a chiller for everything that she's gone through. So I'm so excited. I have no doubt that she'll be off the oxygen completely after the 3 weeks. We put a little Owlet sock on her, which records her oxygen stats 24/7. And like, I've had moments where she's been off the oxygen with tape changes and stuff like that. And yesterday, I had her off of it for a little while just to test as well, just to see how she was going. And it's totally fine. So that Owlet sock thing, by the way, is amazing. Not sponsored by any means. Just wanted to freaking make sure my child was okay. That is amazing, to just peace of mind, especially overnight. And yeah, her oxygen stats were completely fine when she was off of it. So I have no doubt that she'll be off of everything in the next 3 weeks. But just to have her off of it during the day and see her little face and kiss her cheeks is just the best thing ever. So I just also want to say, like, a huge thank you to all of you guys who have been following along and who have been so kind and so understanding over the last 4 or 5 months. I have obviously had a lot of you guys follow me on socials, for mindset stuff and rewriting your mindset, all of that. And I've had time off that lately. And I just want to thank you for, supporting me during that time, and the amount of love that you have sent. And also those of you who have gone through similar things, whether your baby's been on oxygen or a nasal gastric tube and you've reached out, like the amount of help you gave me in the earlier days, because it is such a shock when you find out about it and you don't realize that it is, common for kids to go home on oxygen as well. The amount of support you guys gave and peace of mind and just little tips and tricks, like, thank you so much. And if any of you are watching this and you've got kids on oxygen or a nasal gastric tube, like, I totally feel you. One of my best friends said to me, it is okay to grieve the time that you thought postpartum was going to be. It's totally normal to feel that, and don't feel bad about feeling that. Like, feel what you need to feel, and it can definitely be tough. Yeah, I feel like I still can't believe it's kind of happening, but yeah, thank you so much, guys, and I'll keep these videos kind of going about normal life stuff too. I feel like, oh my God, my brain's going to be able to start thinking again, like, fuck, what are we going to do with life? It's so exciting. I'll see you guys later.